So, just checking the volume levels here. It's a good stream by Gaza. I enjoyed it. If anybody wants to join, they can. If nobody has the time, then that's fine as well. And as you're not banned, I've just checked the ban list. You're not on there, mate. But you can come on as Angie, baby. It's up to you, you know. Do a Rolling Stones. Angie. Down, 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 down. Angie. Down, 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 down. Down, 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 down. Don't know the rest of the words, only Angie. Anyway, it's a good old chat with Gaza. I enjoyed that. About the, you know, obviously there is an age gap between us and the other generation and the one before that. But I'm all for learning from the younger ones. It keeps me young. Well, younger thinking. I don't get, you know, just set in my old ways, which is a trap that when you get older, you can fall into. You've got to keep an open mind. Technical stuff on computers, I saw the beginning of them and I've learned everything. Before, you know, Microsoft Word was Word, you know, and I've done it all from DOS. But late, you know, for the last 5-6 years, I've probably taken my foot off the pedal when it comes to IT and computers. So I'm not sure about what the latest is or whatever. I don't think that's important in my life right now. Hang on, I'll just talk to my dog for a moment. No, you sit down, dry out, and then you can come in. Otherwise, you'll catch cold in the air. You sit down. Right. Steve Anderson, who was the first. So today, you're the lucky winner. And you win. I hope you enjoy that super prize. Well, you got to laugh. Anyway, I'm going to shut up for a while and see if anyone wants to join. If not, who cares? I mean, it would be nice if people join, but I'm not going to get upset if nobody joins, you know. I'm not exactly a crowd puller. Now, if I was going to suddenly talk about people and say, I know stuff that you guys don't know, and I'm going to tell you how it is. I tell you, I'm going to tell you how it is. I'm going to, how it is. Well, you know, so-and-so. Well, they didn't do that because I was there when it happened. No, I haven't got any receipts. No. I'm just telling you. You got to believe me. How many people we got watching? 3, I guess. Wow, we got 7. 7 deadly sins. I don't know why I'm so talkative today. I might say something that's not good. I used to remember the old days, 2 years ago or so. We used to get raided. Sometimes, I think we were under Global at that time. I was Gupta now, but it'd be like a Saturday afternoon and Mosh would come on. And it'd be great. And then all this, you know, like we got raided. And they were brilliant. They suddenly turned Global for 2 or 3 hours into their sort of channel. But we got the views and everything was great. But I was getting messages from other Guptas. Andy, don't forget, you got to kick people if you have to. And but they were very polite. Every single one of Mosh's friends are on there. I can't remember now. Who's that guy called? Not Gorilla. What's his name? The guy with a beard. Forget his name now. Gonzilla. Yeah, he was on there, and they're all saying, "Got to be polite, guys. Got to," because they exactly how I expect people. You know, when you walk into someone's house, you treat it with respect, don't you? You know, you don't just walk in and take. You know, you've got to take your shoes off if you come into my house anyway. I think that's a good practice. But anywhere in the world. But you know, you don't suddenly. Well, I've got a couple of mates will, but you know what I mean. You don't go in and you put your feet up on the coffee table. You know, take off your shirt and start guzzling beers and throwing cigarettes down on the floor or whatever. You don't do that, right? And I think that's the way you have to treat a channel if you go on as a guest. Or maybe I'm old school. Maybe it doesn't matter anymore. I don't know. Oh, link. Well done, Sean. I'm sorry. I'm hopeless about that. Hang on a second. Bear with me. I've forgotten how to do that. I'm been on long. Hang on a sec. I'll be with you. You did this to me last time, mate. Hang on a sec. I got it. I'll tell you now, this is not going to be like a stream of like 35, 40 people watching. It's not quite the right time of day for that, I guess. But that's not what we're here for, is it, folks? Why does that come up twice? Well, there you go. I think there are certain people in the genre, naming no names, that won't go on a panel unless there's like over 30 people watching. It's more fun if people are watching more, I guess, because you know you're reaching more people. For what reason, I have no idea. But panels I have, you know, I think on StreamYards we have a max of 8 on the panel. Sometimes it works, but majoritarily, normally it doesn't. It's good to have 4, 5 people. There's less over talking. There's more, you know, reasonable conversations going on. That's why I don't particularly like the trash ones. I get why people like it, but the trash chat, I don't mean the familiar ones, but the other ones. You know which ones I'm talking about. And it's fine. They seem to get off on that, and it's great. But to me, you know, get 8 people on a panel, it's fun, I have to say. And I wouldn't say no to it. And if it happened, I would go along with it, no worries. But if you want just a conversation down the pub, as Mr. Perrin talks about, then sometimes, you know, a panel of 4 is ideal to me. But, you know, all welcome, please, you know. I see you all queuing up here. Okay, I'm going to make a pact with you all. I'm just going down the road to get a couple of beers. So I'll keep the channel open. But if you want to sign up, no, that's the wrong word, isn't it? If you'd like to join, then you can. But you have to wait for about 5 minutes. Okay, guys? Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Ted Ray. Thank you. All 10 people watching. We're growing, people. We're growing. But I'm going, so I'll see you in a moment. Anybody in the chat that sees people complaining they can't get on, that heard what I said, can you write in the chat? I'll be back in 2 minutes, 5 minutes. Hi, Sean.
Hey, buddy. Sorry,
Hey,
I'm just gonna pop in my headphones briefly. Um,
as is not banned. As is not banned. I'm sure he's not banned. Mind you, it would
oh
help
yeah,
if I could.
no, I was just joking.
Oh, right,
I
right,
don't know.
right. No, he
He may
did
he
say he
might.
was
Yeah.
Sean. I thought that Gaza, the last hour, mainly because I was on it,
Mhm.
I found it very enjoyable, though. I mean, everyone was just talking normally, common sense. And, I said to Gaza, look, I'll open Zounds only if you give it the green light, and he said, oh, another hour or so, and then fine. I said, great, let's carry on here. And then within 5 minutes, he said, feeling tired.
Yeah,
Open
yeah.
up
He,
Zounds, no worries, and I might join you in a moment. So it's cool.
he gets like that sometimes, but he's. I love going on his panel. I know people have his uh what's it called, they critique him, but I do love going on this panel. Yeah, he's.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you take all the other channels. I mean, Steph,
Mhm.
I would go on, but it's always the wrong time for me.
Mm,
But if I
mhm,
ever write a comment, he's always saying, come on, come on. And I would have no problems going on, to be honest.
mhm,
365, I'm happy to leave a text, a bit of a chat saying hello and all that business. That's all. There's one channel I won't go on. And I'd even go on, I guess, Timmy's if it was at the right time just to say hello, but I wouldn't feel comfortable on the panel.
mm,
Nothing
mhm.
against Timmy. It's just, I guess, what's the word? It's the image of the channel, or the image that it portrays probably puts me off. I guess in the
Right.
end of, you
Yeah.
know.
I don't mind. Yeah, I hear what you're saying. I don't mind going on anyone's channel. It's you sort of have to work around the stupidity, I guess, if that's the right word, or the trolling, I guess, if that's the right word. That
Yes,
everyone doesn't really
yeah.
mean any harm against. I guess at the end of the day, against each other, even though people are rude. You
I,
know.
I, I think it's more like that comfortable pair of slippers that you have in the house that you always feel comfortable in, and they're getting a bit old and everything else, and you get new ones for Christmas and they don't feel right. You go back to your old slippers, you go, I feel comfortable. And I think Gaz's channel definitely sounds, if it was open more, would be like that. But through
Mm,
the circumstances that are with the admin that we don't have time to do it is why it's not on a lot. But there's nothing
right.
wrong with Zans either, or Gaz's
Mm.
channel. And I won a Mosh the other day. Haven't been on for ages. And
Really?
Andy, how are you, mate? How are you doing? I said, oh, I
Oh,
can't. I
sorry,
had to.
someone's backstage. I don't mean to
Oh,
interrupt, but I
cool.
think sorry.
Well, what the fuck? Oh, it's him. It's half. What is love, baby? Don't change me.
Hurt me, don't
Hurt me
hurt
more.
me.
Back in the old days. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Welcome,
Who's
Harv.
this old bloke? Who's this old bloke on the panel? This Aussie
Baby, don't
bloke.
hurt me. Don't hurt me
Oh, he's back now.
no more.
Took him a while to catch up. But,
There's a cow.
I never.
Um, it's
Yes,
Andy Chit Chat from
yes.
Bangkok.
Well, it was the last time I looked.
The
Yes.
one and only. Yeah,
Oh, I haven't
the
turned
one.
on my thing here. But here we go. Sorry.
You don't come on as much as you used to, Andy. Not that
Me?
that's a
No.
yeah.
To be honest, and I mean, I can open streams anytime I want, but I've got nothing really to say. There's nobody I really. I mean, I could talk to you if you were just down the road and you text me, say, Andy, I'm in the Nag's Head, having a bite to eat and a beer. Do you want to join me? I'd be down there like a shot. But to open a stream, you know.
I remember when you had a mullet, Andy.
Well, I wouldn't quite call it a mullet, but I know where you're coming from, Hard. When I had hair.
It's
Yeah,
short.
I know.
What are you doing here? What are you doing here?
This is I love this. Aztec, you get your ass on this panel right now. Fucking hell.
As
Alright.
is coming.
I love
Okay.
good vibe good panels like this. That's what people give me a hard time. I was
I'm
on
going to
the.
order. Come on.
I want Az to tell me. I want Az to tell me that they didn't really fly to the fucking moon, because I know that.
Yeah.
Not a fucking
Yeah.
chance.
And then Jula, Dan's gonna click the link, and then he's gonna come on at an odd time, and he's gonna go, "Is that true, Az? Is that really true?" And then Andy's gonna sit there and go, "I love it. I love this conversation. This is a good conversation."
Okay, I've got loads of people in the private chat here. Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah, it's me.
Yeah. I'm sorry, mate. Yeah, I went on a beer run, so I sort of like opened it and thought maybe I shouldn't have opened it. And
No, I went on a beer run too. Yeah, I decided to go on one too.
Yeah.
I was surprised when
I went on a beer run 3 hours ago. I just got back.
Fucking hell, Harv. I love you, buddy. Yeah.
Man,
Andy,
I
you don't.
I go down my local, Sean, and you just can't leave. You just can't leave. There's
How
people
near is your
watching you
local house? How near is it?
Probably 4 minutes by car, Andy.
See, when I order Az to do
Where's
something,
Simon when you need him to make a joke?
welcome, Az.
Oh, fucking no.
trouble.
We don't need this guy on the panel.
Don't get emotional on me.
Yeah,
Don't
right.
get emotional. I'm already
I thought you were
depressed.
busy.
Don't get emotional.
It's good to see you, Harv.
Yeah,
You too.
this
You
is
too,
old
bro.
school.
I'll wipe it to
This
you.
is old school. Old school.
It is old
Harv,
school.
Yeah,
Az, I
this
thought you were busy
is
cleaning
what it's all
floors.
about.
As used to always say to me, Harv, don't get emotional. Now calm down.
Hey, let me ask you something.
You're being emotional, Harv.
Let me ask you something. Did you guys hear about the lady that got her leg amputated at the
Yeah,
tank?
that was
Okay.
awful.
What happened? What happened?
Go
So
on, then.
you know those people, I call them people movers. So when you're in the airport,
moving walkways.
yeah. So you know those flat escalators when you want to walk fast down the departures area. When you get off the plane, or when you're walking in the terminal,
Inside the
and you get on.
terminal.
They're not escalators. They're just flat walkways that move faster than if you were walking.
Yeah,
So
escalates.
Yeah.
well,
Escalates.
How the
escalades,
fuck do you
maybe.
lose your
I
leg
call them
walking
people.
down one of them?
That sounds like a
Exactly.
new Ford car. As I got the new
So-
Ford Escalade.
This lady in Thailand, she tripped over her luggage,
What, did it
and
clear
the
or-
panels apparently was a big fall, and the panels
Did it-
broke, and one of her legs went underneath the
Those teeth
Uh,
things.
yeah,
Yeah,
so
right.
like the turn belt or whatever, and got caught in
Yeah.
there, and then they had to amputate her leg. And then
Yeah.
now the airport is saying, well, we'll compensate you. So my question, that's a sad story, but my question is, one thing, we'll all think about that, because everyone uses that when they travel. But the other thing is, I have a question for the Thailand people. Is it like
travel later.
when you sue, can you sue like you can in the West? Like, do you get compensation? Like, can you say, well, if you're offering me, let's say
Yeah,
they give
yeah.
her
Yeah.
$10,000, can you say, well, I don't want that. I'm going to sue you for $2
I can
million.
answer that one for you, Sean. I can answer that
Yeah.
one for you. The system here for suing is just like anywhere else in the world. But the thing is, you find that they will settle out of court. So there's no publicity, no loss of face. And the AOT will come to her and say, and they can fight it out that way. We'll give
she'll
you
get
this. Enough. It won't go to a court.
She'll get three.
Well, I don't think so.
Yeah, she'll get 3 rye of land and udon thani.
And some pot noodles.
Yeah, and a visit from Aztec.
Yeah, we don't get like ambulance chases here like you do in America and that, like that would be beautiful in America, wouldn't it? You know, like someone did that, they go, right, there's $10 million straight there. There we go.
Well, that's what I
Here-
was wondering. Yeah, because but the thing is that in the U.S. and I think Australia is very similar. If something happens where if you get paralyzed in a car accident or if you lose your leg, you're justified to sue because sometimes the court system doesn't always work into your favor criminally. So it's like the O.J. Simpson case, for example. He was found not guilty. They sued and civilly, and he was found guilty, and they were like, okay, OJ, you got to pay like $30+ million to the family. Still, he found a way to get around it, but the point is that you can still.
Well, let me
fight.
throw a spanner in the works. I hate to mention the word spanner in this community, but let me throw one in. I heard that she stumbled over somebody else's baggage.
Oh, yeah, I don't know, maybe.
Which throws,
I did.
you know, but you're right. If that was
Oi.
America or England, but America especially, where, you know, suing is like a part-time hobby, they'll do. Here, no. It could go to court. And to be honest, it just makes things easier when they settle out of court. You know, everybody gets what they want. She's lost a leg. If she gets like out of court, you know, I don't know, $100,000 or $200,000 or $500,000 or whatever, she's going to stay quiet and because it's her lot. You see what I mean? She'll go, yeah, you know, that's what it is. I might be proven wrong, or the press don't follow up on these things because they're all so censored. So I don't know. I'm not sure. It's a government, so you got to be careful of, not careful, but it's not the same way. Things can be hushed up, money can be paid, and everybody's happy. And well, she's got one leg missing, so she's obviously not super happy. But if she gets some money, you know, like $1 million would like set her up for life. You know,
Well,
she could buy three legs.
All right. I gotta go. It was nice talking to you.
that's it.
Oh,
You didn't even
yeah, I'm
fucking
out
say
of time.
anything.
I'm out of time. Middle of renovating the house.
Well,
Cleaning
thanks
it
for
up.
coming on, mate. Appreciate it, bro.
Yeah, unban that Aztec, will you? In the chat, get an admin to unban that Aztec.
I don't know how to unban, but I'll get it sorted. Don't worry. That's ridiculous. Don't be. That can't happen. I will try and work it out, mate. I don't even know where the ban list is on here, so I don't know. I sound like
okay.
Steve Perrin, you know. I don't know how to turn my computer on. Well, don't worry, you'll learn.
If I see Banana King, or if you do, I'll ask him. He's very quick at doing it because
He's the owner. He's the owner, and I think there's certain things that I don't know. I can have a look, but I'm not doing it now. I might shut the screen down.
it's okay. Yeah, Banana King, he knows how to do it. When I was shadow banned on here at one time, and people were having difficulties figuring it out, and Banana King was quick to
Hello, Anna.
So
How you doing?
Hey, Anna. Yeah, but yeah, no, that's interesting. The whole thing about she won't be winning any arse kicking competition. Yeah, I see. I was talking to this briefly on Gazzas, and people were making jokes about it. I don't know. I was a big fan of the jokes, to be honest. You know,
I mean, I give a recommendation for all the helpers because on the newsreel it said that all the helpers from the hospital, from the airport, try to help her. I probably had a look and fainted. You know what I mean? It must have been a pretty grisly sight. You know.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
They don't amputate legs for no reason. You know, I don't know if it's from the knee or from the.
I read it was above the knee. They mentioned, just above the knee. Yeah.
So how did she get all that in? It must have been at the side of where that ramp thing goes into, you know, the belt to turn around. She must have hit the side.
It makes you think because it made international headlines. So it makes you think I read a forum that was talking about it, and they said, well, typical. One guy said, typical Thailand, they have no regard for safety, because
That's
if
bullshit.
it's
Not in an airport. Sorry,
yeah,
carry on. But
no,
anyway,
that, and I hear that, and but he said, quote unquote, they have no regard for safety because, quote unquote, if it's never happened, Thais will say, it's never happened, so why do we have to worry about it? That was the quote that came from that person, and there was a lot of controversy and discussion on the forum around that uh, response. Yeah, so I
okay,
don't know.
I can. I think I can share this screen. Hang on a sec, so we can see what everybody's talking about. Stop cam settings. All right, carry on talking. Present. Oh, why do they keep changing the names of these things? Share
Yeah,
screen.
I mean that's pretty much all I have to say about that. I mean, it's an interesting. I find it a very interesting topic because of the Thailand genre.
Yeah,
So,
and I haven't got a real answer for you, but I don't know.
and the other
I
thing
hear-
too is it was by Hitachi, which is a Japanese company, and they're, if you know Japan, Japan is very big on safety with all its train services and its elevators and its technology. So the
I
fact
just
that
don't
it
know
was
how her leg could have got caught there. You know what I'm saying? Like,
lack of maintenance, I think, to be honest, I think that's what it comes down to.
well,
It
well,
if the panels gave
yeah,
away, because
maybe.
it's happened in China before, if the panels gave away, then it's just like the airport's already admitted that they're going to compensate her. So something, their
Yeah, but
airport is already
yeah, will it go through to will it go through to the courts, which is what I to be honest, an escalator, or as Lump said, a travel way, or whatever it's called, you go to the end of it, it's hard to get a piece of paper through it, let alone a leg.
right.
So it must have been at the
Yeah,
side of it, and then that should have a guard stopping that from happening. And if that wasn't there, then that's a gaping hole in the whole system, which, that was an accident waiting to I can't see how she got a leg down there.
yeah, but the thing is that, and it's happened in China before too. The panels, if they fail, the panels give away.
Ah,
Underneath those panels is just open.
mechanisms.
Yeah, it's just a big turning mechanism, like you said. So I'm
Yeah.
assuming, I don't know this for sure, but I'm just assuming her foot went, those panels gave way for whatever reason with a
Yeah.
hard fall. Maybe the
Yeah.
suitcase wedged underneath the
Yeah. Yeah.
side,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
then a panel came loose, and then
And then she followed it through. Yeah.
yeah, unfortunately, yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Yeah. So
I mean,
it's
that's really sad when you think about it. But I don't like the idea of the Western media saying Thailand is unsafe. Yes, it is in many places. You walk around Bangkok, you could fall down a pothole and break your neck, like easy as easy. It's not
Mhm.
like cordoned off. I get that. It's less now, but it's still there. But at an airport, I would think that they are fairly tight on transporting Western passengers or whatever passengers from A to B. I would think there is some, but it's a mistake, and mistakes happen in any walk of life, don't they? Really, when you think about it, like, oh, that shouldn't have happened. Yeah, we forgot to do that. I mean, the West. I just don't like it. Say Thailand's, Thailand, they're not known for their safety.
Yeah, no,
I
I agree.
I'm not biased towards Thailand. I'm just saying as it is. There's certain things.
Yeah, that's the only reason why I brought it up. I didn't bring it up as in, this is terrible or something like that. I just brought it up for, because it is a story that's going on, and I think it'll make it's just a learning lesson. I think it'll make Thailand improve, in my opinion, because you don't
I mean,
want
Thai Tim always says, correct, Andy, depends on the definition of unsafe. And Banana King says, "I will give everyone a drunk pass."
Oh, yeah. Okay, that might
He's
be a reference to me, maybe.
Well, no, nothing, because you come up with a very good subject. There's nothing wrong with him, but he's done that.
But I said something earlier. I can't remember whose panel it was, but I said something to do with Banana King gave me a drunk pass, so other people should get a drunk pass as well because
Oh,
people.
right.
Yeah, that's drama though. I don't know if you want to go into that area, but that's drama territory. Yeah,
I was
but
rather hoping Gaza would join us, but we've got 16 watching and no one wants to come on the panel, so they're interested in what we're talking about. So
I think
keep
Lump will pop on, and Adrian will probably pop on soon. Yeah, but
well, he'll be on
yeah,
his mobile, and that never works well with old Banana King.
yeah.
So, it's
It's too bad that Az had to leave, but that's fine. Yeah.
Yeah, he came on because I ordered him to. And,
Yeah. But
now
how's
it's
everything doing everything's going well, I'm assuming? Yeah. Yeah.
with me,
Obviously.
everything is fine.
Good.
What about you? Because we never hear about your private life. We don't delve into that. But everything
Yeah.
okay in your life, in your working life and social life? How's things?
Working life is going well. Social life is it's getting back to normal still from COVID. And I know it's been a while. People don't want to hear that word, but yeah. That's pretty much it. I'm looking to. I was in Japan and I went to
Yeah, I
Vietnam.
didn't follow you there. I didn't follow you much. You weren't streaming a lot, or you weren't on streams, were you? You were, but you weren't a lot.
A little bit. I was on Zounds quite a bit with Steve Perrin, but that was it. Other channels I wasn't on. I actually unsubbed from most channels at that point.
I
but,
just love Vietnam and Japan. I mean, if you said, where do you want to go? Because it's near to me as well. I would say Japan, Vietnam, and then Cambodia for quick trips. Japan is, I just think it's so different. It's so great, and not as expensive as it used to be back in the 70s and 80s. Japan was like nobody could afford to go there.
Japan back in the 70s and 80s was like, to a certain extent, was like the China in this day and age, where they thought there was a certain extent where Japan might take over the world because they were so strong technology wise, and then they had the housing collapse and whatnot.
We used to have a thing in England, like back in the 70s. If you bought a little dinky toy or something like made in Japan, no good, no good. And now it's like made in China, no good.
I was dating this girl from Japan, and she was living with me, and at like Christmas time and stuff, and she would come and she would visit my grandma and stuff, and she would bring like my grandma like small whatever, like a hand cream or something like that. And
gift.
And my grandma would say, "Oh, this is made in Japan," and I'd go, "Yeah, grandma, it's made in Japan." She'd go, "Oh yeah, then it's good. Yeah, Japan makes the best stuff." Yeah, because she's thinking back in the day, right? She's thinking
and then there was made in Hong Kong. Everything made in Hong Kong. Oh, don't buy that. It's made in Hong Kong. And then the China thing came, and we've done a full set now. Chinese products. I don't care what anybody says. If you're willing to pay, you'll get a good product from China. Absolutely, undoubtedly. They've really raised. In the old days, you can buy this watch for £1, or you can do this or do that. Now, if you go up into the higher echelons of purchasing, you can buy some really good stuff. I mean, they've got it off the tee and cheaper.
Andy, there's a reason why that's the manufacturing hub of the world. There's a reason why that hasn't switched to India or Vietnam. Like there's this animosity from the West that we're in agreement. We have to switch from China to another country to do our manufacturing. But they don't know where to go. And the reason why is because China has adapted to doing such a good job making all that stuff That's the
Well, it's
reality.
always based on cheap labor as well.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, and places like Bangladesh and India and Vietnam, they can do cheap labor as well, but the product is so much more poor, and they haven't found a way to make their logistics work.
But the
Compa-
Chinese, they spend fortunes on espionage and spies in different
yeah,
factories, and I mean that's
exactly.
how they did it. That's how they did it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, and you could even what you just said. You could even compare to like the war that's going on with Russia, where Russia was supposed to have the best army in the world. Not the best army. They're supposed to have the second best army in the world,
The
and
most.
this and this great air force, and you can't be reckoned with, and stuff
Yeah.
like that. And they've been doing. The reality is they've been doing very poorly, and that goes hand in hand with like the whole, in my opinion, the whole manufacturing type of thing with
Oh,
China as well.
absolutely, and the engineering
Yeah.
thing. You know, the Air Force from Russia, they can't start half their planes because they ain't got no spare parts. You know, when you buy a MiG,
Mhm.
whatever it is, because Thailand did it, you buy for the next 10 years spare parts to maintain that plane. They've run out. No one's giving them spare parts, so they're trying to put an Air Force up in the sky, and A, they're older planes, and B, they're not maintained. Half of them they can't even start. So Russia's not this big, like it's not like America where they have from China,
Mhm.
the latest
Yeah.
equipment and everything else and components. They're stuck, and they're now beginning to show how archaic they are. That's my opinion. And Ukraine is, with the Western support, are becoming superior, although a lot smaller, because they're beating
Abs-
them on the ground and beating them in the air.
Absolutely, yeah. It's a big. It's sort of a big letdown to a certain extent, but at the same time, it's a big. Okay, we realize that the enemy is not as bad as we thought they would
Yeah.
be. But
It's the old
it's
scenario of the bully in the schoolyard. You know what I mean? Well,
Mhm.
he's big, but you hit him under the chin, he'll fall like anybody else. Like it's the bully mentality that everyone expected Russia to have, this mega army, and which they have. They have the people, but and they're trained well, but they don't have the technical ability to beat even Ukraine.
Mhm. Mhm.
I
Yeah.
don't want to disrespect Ukraine, but you know what I mean? It's like America trying to take over Belgium
Yeah,
if
yeah,
they were neighbors,
absolutely.
if you see what I mean.
Well, the U.S. hasn't won any war since what is it, World War II? I think it is the
They didn't
Korean
win that.
War.
Sean, let me put you right. America did not win the World War II. Without them, I think we would have struggled and maybe have lost. Maybe we would have won, but they certainly helped in the winning of it. But I don't like this. America won the World War II. We were in it for 4 or 5 years before they decided to step in.
True. Yeah. Yeah. Very
No,
true.
that's all. And we needed their help. I'm not saying that. And so thankful for the Americans for coming in, because, they, in the end, it wasn't like they came in and we won the war the next day.
Right.
There was still a lot of fighting with Allied troops, and all the Allied troops, Australians. It was a combined effort. That's why I don't always, I feel a bit, we won the war. No, you helped to win the war is more accurate.
That's
In
a
my
good. That's a very good point. That's a very good point. However, let's say, I don't know how much detail I want to go into, but let's say after the Battle of Britain, let's say Pearl Harbor was attacked, and then America did nothing. They decided not to do anything,
Even after
and
Pearl
the,
Harbor, I thought that was the catalyst that started the American intervention.
yeah,
No.
that's what brought them. Yeah, that's what brought them
Oh,
into
right,
it
right,
at that time.
right.
Yeah, they
A
said, "Oh
strike
yeah,
near
yeah,
home. Yeah. They thought, shit, this is coming too near us. Look what they've
Now,
done.
yeah.
So
Now these
we're
days, we'll do a war for nothing. Yeah,
yeah,
same
exactly.
with the UK, to be honest. Yeah, in
Yeah,
my opinion.
yeah.
You know what was very interesting? I've told this before. You might actually, I'd love your opinion on this. It's a bit of a different. I don't mean to change the topic, but you know the one country that sided with the Japanese in World War II.
Thailand.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, that's you see, Thailand has always been the Switzerland of Asia. They stay like neutral. I mean, they allowed in the end the Japanese to come through with that death railway and everything else, and in that death railway, lots of Thais lost their lives. They were labored as well. They said, let's come through, and then they herded them all up along with all those fantastic Australians that were killed and everything. I mean, it was a nightmare, but they allowed them access. Yes, they did. That's why maybe Thailand is what it is now. We don't seem to have any enemies, do we? To be honest,
that's a good point. Yeah.
We're farther enough away from China with our borders, but we're close. We're pretty close.
But
That's why
however, because there's not a lot of enemies out there in this day and age, in my opinion, as well. So, but when you say we don't have any enemies, you still have
internally.
There's the internal conflict, but you also have, in my opinion, and this is going from my own experiences as well, you have Chinese influence versus American influence that is very heavy in Southeast Asia at this moment, and Thailand, I think, plays a part in that. In my opinion.
Well, Adrian has just said Thailand declared war on America. I'd love you to come on and explain that. I can't imagine them declaring war on anybody, to be honest, unless it's the street vendors on Khao San Road. Rather, didn't Thailand? Oh, hang on.
Thailand declared war
he's
on
rephrased
America?
it. He's rephrased it. Rather, didn't Thailand declare war on America? I don't know, mate. I have no idea about that.
I just know that they had like 50,000 soldiers. There wasn't a lot at that time, but they sided with Japan when they came through Asia, and they
now is Aztec. He goes, China built 75% of Thailand. They own the joint. Well, maybe, but we don't recognize them, so it's fine. They don't. Well, there is Thai. Ethnically, there is Thai Chinese, and they're all the ones that actually are into business. There's Thai Indian. The Thais are what they were always. They're just lovely people and they get on with it. But you've got the Thai Chinese. They are very business minded. They're very family orientated. Same as the Thais there, but it's all to business, making money. The Indians, Thai Indians, are very high up in society here. Most of them, the Thai Indians, they own franchises. Dunkin' Donuts owned by Thai Indians, so they're very high. But the Thai Chinese are not looked upon as well as from Thais as well as Thais. Your Thai Chinese, I've heard it in conversations. Yeah, well, he's Thai Chinese, so it's like a different. They're not downing that person, but they're saying they're differentiating between the Thai and the Thai Chinese, definitely.
So,
and I can say that categorically, whatever that word is.
If for example, if I meet a girl online and she says I'm Thai and she can only speak Thai, but she says I'm Thai descent. I'm Chinese descent.
Chinese descent. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
Is that for all Thai, or is that just
no? I don't know what the percentage is, mate, but it's a very interesting conversation which I can't really add to because I don't know the stats. But Thai Chinese are recognized as Thais. It's just that they come from a different origin. They are Chinese, maybe 1, 2, 3 generations before, but they're Thais. But they are Thai Chinese. They have a whiter skin. Their face is different. They're more Chinese looking than Thai looking. They have more slant eyes and round eyes. Now I'm getting racist. I'm not. I'm explaining.
No, nothing.
No, I'm talking about other people. And he's called them a slant eye. Well, okay, then their eyes are a little narrower. You can tell.
All Asians are started from China. Japan started from China. I don't get into a conversation with Japanese people, but yeah, it's the fact that Japanese people, their society started from Chinese people.
Well, they did.
Yeah, that's a fact.
Well,
yeah.
I mean, Kublai Khan and all that lot was like bloody Middle Eastern, and he started it all.
Yeah.
Who was he?
Yeah.
Kublai Khan? I mean, he was from, where was he? Something ending in Stan, probably, or Kakistan, or whatever.
We could go into even more detail. We could say Jesus started in India. I won't go there. I won't go down. I won't go down that territory though.
And who says he was a he? You know what I mean? So
yeah, that's a good point. That's a very good point. That's a very, very good point. Yeah, you just never know. Yeah,
it's like all religions, to be honest. That humans since whenever always wanted to have a goal in the sense of what they're doing and what they're about. In other words, they needed to look up to something.
all right.
The Catholics say Christianity, but I'd say Catholics as well. They in South America, where it's poverty, they cover their crucifixes in gold. The chalices and and then the temples in Thailand, if you go to Buddhist way, is in gold, because that can relate to a certain person or race of people. If they're gold, you have to look up to it. You have to look up to it because gold is, and for Chinese, gold is gold. You know what I mean? Like, Jewish people may be diamonds, but you don't understand what I mean. It's like, so that's why you go to churches in England and everything's in gold, and the vestments, they're getting away from it now. But in the old days, everything was gold. Why gold? Why? Well, it couldn't be black. I get that, but it could have been, like wood or, something easy to get on with. But no, gold, the chalice where you have the Holy Sacrament. Oh, bless you. Gold. Why gold? Why? Is it something linked with the spirits? Gold? No, it's not. It's just they have to look like they know what they're doing, and they are like to be looked up to. So it's back to money. And financial.
That's interesting. Yeah,
right? That's how I look.
It's a very interesting point because
yes, it is Thai Tim, by the way. Nana is owned by Indian family. Yeah.
A lot of Thais is more. Are they there's Hinduism involved in Thailand, right? With the
well, that's the Indian side. Yeah, but that's the Indians. You go down Ceylon Road, you can go to 2 or 3 Indian temples. With that. What's the name of that elephant with all the trunks? It's lovely.
Gate. No.
Yeah, you know the one, right? What's the name of it?
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
I'm trying to think of the Simpsons episode that it was on.
Vishna.
Something like that. Yeah.
Oh, it is Vishna.
Yeah.
But like my son, he's 32, and he's been brought up in a sort of international schools and universities and things in Thailand. But he's now so he's got a group of Indian friends who are all, by the way, like millionaires, and they own lots and lots. And then he's got the Thais that will come and barbecue at our house. The Indians will come, but normally they'll invite us to like a 5-star restaurant where they've got a private room. But they love it. And it's still, when we walk into the private room, we're all friendly, and it's all like being outside on my terrace. But the Thais will quite happy to sit on my terrace. They won't, not because they don't want to, it doesn't suit them. So we meet them in other places. And then, yeah, my son hasn't got many Thai Chinese friends, I have to say. I have to say this. I don't think the Thais highly regard Thai Chinese. They don't regard Thai Indians either, to a certain extent. There's a name. They call them in Thai, will call an Indian kek. Kek means, this is awful, but thank God.
No. I've seen it before in Vietnam.
It's smelly.
So
Keg means smelly
mm, mhm.
because they probably smell of curry. But
Yeah,
then
that's
Thai
why never take a plane from the UK to Southeast Asia. That's all I'm saying.
never rent an apartment next to an Indian because like, the whole hallway smell. I got a friend that lives in one, and I've got Indians down. Trouble is, he says, I come home at night after a few beers, I want to smash down their door and eat their food.
Oh, yeah, the mannerisms. Yeah,
Yes, it's got but it's the Indian pugnancy of the food. But Thais have curries. Some renowned Thai green curry is world renowned, but it's not such a sort of. It is curry and it's taste of curry and all the rest of it. But all this food originated in the old days when there was no refrigeration, because the only way
Right.
to preserve food was to curry it or salt it. So they could keep, they could slaughter a pig and they'd curry it, and it'd last for bloody months, or salted or something. So
Would you say the Thais despise the Indians more or the Chinese more?
That's a good question. I think there's, I think they, what's the word? I think with the Indians, they give them a pass. With the Chinese, and we're not talking about Chinese. These are Thai citizens, for 2 to 3 generations probably. They look upon them differently. Well, they do the Indians as well. Thais like Thais, to be honest. But Thais, they're a lazy bunch of wankers, to be honest. They don't. I don't know. They don't really, up country is what I'm not talking about Bangkok, because Bangkok's like Seoul, like Paris, like anyway, it really is. Bangkok is like a city. But you go up country, you get all the husbands and all that are sat around tables drinking lakao, and lakao is a spirit here you get in Thailand. It's a rice wine or white wine.
Oh, yeah.
It's very good. It's called a lakao. You put it in water, it goes milky. But anyway, they're all out there. They get pissed out of their heads from 9 o'clock. Where's their wives? They're out doing the vending on the street, selling like pork skewers and chicken wings. And oh, absolutely. And they're not lazy. They don't really give a shit. They're in the now, so much in the now. They're not in the. Bangkok's different. And maybe who cares about Pattaya? Fucking wasteland as far as I'm concerned. It's commercial, it's great for what it does, great, doesn't interest me. But the rest of Thailand is, you go up country, as I recommend everyone to do, it's different. That's where the smiles are still there. That's where Thais just are lived for today. They really do live for today. That's why they don't insure things, Their house burns down, oh shit, you should have insured it. Nah, they live in the now. And they take the consequences for not doing that. Whereas the Chinese business, Chinatown, you see all those shop houses selling, every herb under the sun or trinkets or whatever. They're there. And they'll man that almost 24/7. They'll go, their nephew to do it or their grandchild to do it or whatever. They keep it going. They all live above or something, But the Indians, they're more economically together in the whole commerce of Thailand, as Thai Tims, they own Dunkin' Donuts, the franchise. So, and they have many other. They have a few hotels and they have a few plazas. They're very, very rich, and they're Indians. Whereas Chinese, I don't know. I mean, our prime minister or ex-prime minister, you can see there's Chinese in him. And
do you think there'll be a coup anytime soon? There's been a lot of talk about that in the news over here.
Well, it's very interesting because the party that was elected is the Future Forward Party, which is great. The craft beer, which is my domain, they're trying to make that legal or easier to sell. Cannabis, they've made it now totally legal, but that's before they came to power. But now they had one thing on their, on their, not agenda, but whatever it's called, was to lessen the laws of lèse majesté. So once you start going into lèse majesté, you're going into a territory that is the most guarded, the most strongest thing to talk about, because you're talking about monarchy. And on their portfolio, that's the word, they had to lessen the laws, and it's been very harsh. You want to see journalists that have disappeared, whatever. I'm not going into
Really?
that part.
Huh.
But so now, the military side, they have to elect a prime minister.
Mhm.
It's not the party that won. You know what I'm saying? The party that won got the most votes of the people. Now they have to elect and it looks like it could be a military guys coming in because they want to quash immediately the least majest law, because the least majest law keeps them in business.
Huh.
And there's a lot of controversy at the moment because of the new king, and he doesn't quite follow the same path as the old king. The old king had a lot of followers, but they're now the OGs, you know, that have transgressed into the new one, but they're even finding the faults, because it's very easy to find the faults in the new one. So it's a whole new cauldron of feeling against the biggest thing that divided people in Thailand was the monarchy. Or kept it together.
I'm very curious, and forgive me if it's a stupid question, but I really have to know. The military leadership, is that a popular thing? Is
No.
that
No.
No? Okay.
No.
Okay.
But for the poor people, you know, the 75% of the majority of Thai people that live up country that are can be conditioned and are misinformed by propaganda, all the TV channels and everything else, you know, 6 o'clock national anthem, 8 o'clock, the royal channel, not the royal channel, half an hour, every channel has to do a half an hour on the royal family of someone picking up flowers and lighting a candle and whatever. That all still goes on. So, but because of the money, I mean, they own, the royal family own, I mean, billions of dollars, dollars, not baht, billions of dollars. And they're keeping the military in check because the military wants to protect them because it's protecting the military. So I don't see any big changes. The prime minister comes in. If he's from a military background, there'll be more revolution in the streets again.
What does the West want? Are they okay with either side economically?
Yeah. As long as we stay quiet and give them an air base here and there, they don't give a shit, really.
Oh, okay. Well, that's a good thing, I guess, to a certain extent, because Thailand's
this king was invited to the royal wedding, but he didn't go. Everyone was surprised that he was invited in the first place, but us living in Thailand, because the guy is like, if you just deep dive into the king, and you'll come to your own conclusions. That's all I'm going to say. I don't want to get arrested tomorrow, but no, that won't happen. But you know,
I saw on the news the other day, actually just like yesterday, 3 people, I think, or something along those lines, were found not guilty for blocking the Queen's motorcade. I think something.
That was a while back. Yeah, they almost what's the word? Promoted some aggravation over that whole thing. Yeah, I know. I mean, the king feels safer in Germany than here. He wears 2 bulletproof vests wherever he goes, even with all his.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Hey, I've said too much. Shi Ting says, Andy, question mark. So, whoever Shi Ting is, you sound Chinese, but I don't think so, somehow.
Judging by the avatar, she's definitely a frequenter of this community, definitely.
Oh, there we go. Okay. Anyway, Shi Ting, thanks for your comments. It's fine. Laugh out loud. Okay, she's in with the game. She's there. Thoughts on the penalty for ice and crew? What's that? Thoughts on?
Oh, that's. Have you been following that garbage?
What garbage? The submarine.
No, not the submarine. Are you familiar with Ice Poseidon?
Yes, recently I have, and he's been in Thailand. I got to give the guy credit. It's like he's like a superstar being live, because he's got people, helpers all around him, and he seems to make something out of nothing. Even getting a shirt is like a half an hour of real entertainment. But he has absolutely no idea what it's all about.
It's a bit mixed for me.
1,000 baht tips. Oh no, I'm not saying I like the guy. In fact, I turned it off because I thought his ignorance of where he is was totally out of order.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
And the fine food experience was. But to his credit, he's making content.
I guess at the I mean, he's only doing it because he's getting paid huge amounts of money to do it. That's what he did with his with other stuff in the past. Yeah.
Yeah.
When he
So
maybe when he was himself at a certain extent.
yeah, but on my
He was
professional
smart.
side, I'm going good. You're getting paid for what you're doing. Is an act for sure. I saw him when he was in Korea, and he I've rented for the night a palace, and it was not a palace, but it was like a very big B&B, to be honest, like 5-6 bedrooms, and he's smoking weed, and I liked what he was doing, but I knew he was putting on an act.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. When you're following Jeremiah, what's his face, Esquire, it's more real until he starts talking about people that have hurt him and all that, which is great. I don't want to get down to that, but he not disappointed me. I just want to point him in the right direction, to be honest. Not that I'm the guy to do that, but we have knowledge of how everything works here. When he was doing that thing around Chiang Rai, I thought it was quite interesting. And I just was watching the chat, and then people were saying, "Can you go back to that fountain? That really looked nice." But he was too busy
ranting, I guess,
talking about Capio and that. So I just tried to, if I could talk to him, say, "Look, just carry on with those IRLs, although they're getting a bit old hat these days, but find some novel things to do with that." And Chiang Rai is a novel place to be because not a lot of people travel to Chiang Rai. And he's apparently going somewhere else and somewhere else. He said he was going to a monastery for 3 days with the monks. Well, I didn't see anything about that. So all I'm saying is that forget criticizing people that are having a go at you and have done some nasty things, allegedly, and just let it drop, because there's no future to go that way. It's just, you're almost, what's the word? You're almost decrediting the good things you're trying to do. That's all I'm saying. And I'd say that if he came on now, he was listening, I doubt it, but if he was, Lump, you're back. I was thinking that, listen, start a fight, and then you probably get more views, but they're the wrong views. They're not the way to grow a channel,
Right. Yeah. I was listening before, if you don't mind me saying, the term you said, you take off your shoes before you go into somebody else's house, right?
Yeah.
I've used that term in this community a couple times, and some people have said back to me, "Well, Sean, you don't know what it's like. If I went into somebody's house on here, I would leave my shoes on. I would wipe my foot across, the carpet or something like that." And I go, "Okay, fair enough. I'm not. I'm not been there, but it's very. I think it's. I agree with you. Don't get me wrong. I agree with you, but I think it's very easy for us to say, well, let it go, type of thing, if that's the right term for it. Don't hold animosity, maybe.
Yeah, that's a very, very good point. I mean, the shoes thing into a house, why bring dirt from outside inside? That's the basic. And, when I go to see my brother and all that, my wife and if my son's with us, shoes by the door, but they're all wearing shoes inside. And it looks to me ugly. It's like you're just bringing shit from outside. Where have you walked? I'm not saying you walked in dog shit or anything, but, leave the shoes behind, and come into a cleaner, more pristine environment. We don't have carpets here for obvious reasons. We have tiles, but for me, it's just logical to do that. It's not a matter of custom, but the custom has evolved from the reason why you don't do it. You don't from outside inside. So if someone visits someone's channel, that should be the protocol. I am in someone else's domain. I need to act accordingly. That's me. Cool.
Fair enough. Yeah, fair enough. I was dating a girl one time. It was in Japan, And I was,
Right.
I didn't tell anyone in this community about this, and I was at her place, and
Andy, this is the first. Andy is the first.
yeah, it's a first. And her parents didn't like me, right? So they said, yeah, well, we'll listen to you and whatnot, but we would agree that if you were to leave. And I said,
Really?
okay, yeah, yeah, that's exactly what happened. And I said, and then my girlfriend at the time, she was like, oh yeah, okay, fair. She was like, I'm sorry, but she was like, we're still gonna meet tomorrow and blah blah blah. And I was like, yeah, okay. And she had an older brother, and the older brother became very um uh and like I don't know what the word is.
Aggressive? Aggressive?
Not so much aggressive, but sort of like, okay, so if my parents don't want you here, then I'm gonna protect my sister type of thing. Yeah, and
All right. Right.
I was a lot more younger at that time, and I pushed back a little bit like how some people do in this community. And the one thing I thought of the day that I was leaving, when I knew her brother was there, I purposely walked in the house with my shoes on. And in Japan, not taking your shoes off
That's a no-no.
yeah, it's a huge and brutal thing. And I walked into my house. I walked into her house with my shoes on, and I stood there and I stood staring at the brother. And the brother, he saw that, and he sort of, he went ballistic. He couldn't speak any English, by the way. And at that time I could speak very little Japanese, and he was sort of challenging me to a little bit of a fight. Anyways, it was an interesting thing because I thought, you know, what the hell was I thinking? You know what I mean? Like why would I do something like that? You know, if somebody else, if you're gonna communicate with somebody else and try and uh uh negotiate, if that's the right word, you know, then why would I want to up that, you know, for my own
No,
personal gain? Yeah, if that's,
okay. Just give me a minute. Just going to the loo. I'll be back in a second, mate.
oh, okay,
No one
okay,
else is joining. Quite a few people are watching, but I guess people are busy. All right, hang on a second.
that's good. Cheating, Tims, haven't seen you. Sean was like Daniel from Karate Kid. Far from it, buddy. Far from it. It's actually embarrassing, to be honest. It was a long time ago. It was like one of my first. It was like, yeah, it was a while back. Yeah, it was a short visit where the girl said, "You come and stay in my house," and then I was very, maybe it was my fault. I was very casual about it. And they were like, yeah, they were like, we don't want you to stay here. You can go stay in a hotel. And I got pissed off by that. And I was like, well, fucking hell, this would never happen in the West. And then I was like, fuck. And then I was like, well, when I was leaving, I was like, well, fuck this. I'm like, I'm gonna wear my shoes in the house. Yeah, that's pretty much what happened. Uh, what didn't the parents like about you, Sean? I think it was a foreigner thing. Yeah, that's, to be honest, it was just it was a foreigner thing. They were very conservative. But that was good. It was a good thing that I learned it, because I when I dated a girl after that who was from Japan and I met her parents, I knew what to expect, and so I learned how to go, um I don't know what the best word is, but play the game. I guess you could say, if that's the best word. And that goes the same thing for Thailand. I think in Thailand and the Philippines as well, a lot of these Asian countries, um, the the parents are gonna be, you're gonna be with a girl. If you're with a good girl, then the parents are gonna be very conservative. They're not going to be open to a foreigner coming into their house. Doesn't matter whether they live in a shack or whether they live in a $1 million, multi-million dollar mansion. you walk in and you're dating the girl and they get that sense, you have to present yourself very differently. Yeah. In my opinion. And a lot of you guys know that, I think. Yeah. It
I
goes,
think that's
yeah,
absolutely true. Like
yeah.
you have to leave a good impression no matter what you're thinking.
100%, 100%. It's not like when I dated a girl in Asia once, and I was sitting down at the dinner table, and when dinner was over, I got up to help. I was trying to be nice. I got up to help to clean the dishes, and
Oh yeah,
they took that as an insult. That was an insult.
yeah,
And the
yeah.
father said, no, 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 and the father couldn't speak any English, but he said,
Mm.
no, 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 you he was like putting his arm, he was like doing the hand gestures, and he was like, no, no, you sit down, what the fuck. He was like, what the hell is your problem? The mother took offense to that, and then my girlfriend was like, yeah, what the hell are you doing? And I was like, what the fuck? I was
Well,
like,
I mean, I can sit round and I hate using the word maid, but if you're in Thailand, you live here, you can use the word maid. But to Western people, a house helper, but lives in, been here 15 years, runs the house. To be honest, she's
yeah,
like what we call a mare barn, the mother of the house. But actually, your wife is the mother. She's the grandmother of the house. But we'll sit around a table in the evening and we've bought some food and the maid has cooked some food and it'd come to the table almost like a restaurant
right.
and we'll eat. I will always take my plates and glasses or whatever, take them to the sink, maybe even wash them over a little bit or throw away the bits of stuff that's on the plate. My wife won't. She just walks away and she's the loveliest person but it's just, she doesn't feel awkward in doing that, whereas I do. And that's probably because I'm half Western. Well, I'm not, I say half, I'm 100% Western, but having lived here for so long, the culture has rubbed off on me, but that hasn't. I still feel uncomfortable of having a maid. That's never worn off. And I've had a maid for over 30 years, not the same one, but you know what I'm saying? So cultural differences, it's all about, with Asian people, I think, it's all about face and respect. If you don't show respect or you make them lose face, you're in a hell of a lot of trouble.
Yeah, yeah, I could see that.
In my opinion. Yeah, well, because if you don't show them respect, they lose face. So if they think they are what they are and you don't show them what they think you should show because of what they are, then to them, that's a loss of face. And in Asia, the loss of face thing, I mean, English, I say English people, I don't know about Americans, Australian, loss of face. It's like if I do something wrong in the house and I made a mistake, something, I don't know.
Have you ever met a Thai person before? And I'm only saying this because I'm going by Vietnam, Taiwan, Japan. Have you ever met a Thai person before that says, I think Thailand is the best country in the world? And you stop and you think about that and you go, well, hang on. But the worst thing you could do is engage in that type of conversation.
Oh, absolutely. You're onto a loser because how can you say that? How can you say? I mean, I got a contract to come to Bangkok when I was 30 years old. I'd been in a career of DJing and whatever. Let's not, it's boring. But I got here for 3 months. But my agent chose where I went. It could have been Taiwan. It could have been Singapore. It could have been Florida. It could have been anywhere. But, I got on with my job. I was successful in what I did and I grew from there. But that could have been anywhere. So there's nothing in Thailand that says to me, it's the best place ever. Because there's always negatives, to everywhere. And there's always positives to everywhere. But if you put your roots down, which I obviously have done now, not consciously, but over time, my roots got more embedded into the country, then I don't want to move. So for me, it is the best country ever. But that doesn't mean actually it is the best country ever. I could have had an alternative lifestyle totally somewhere else at age of 30. for sure.
Totally understand what you mean. Yeah, totally understand what you mean. Yeah,
Yeah,
100%.
and for me now, Thailand is I roughly, as a guy that speaks 10% of the language, which is a big handicap. I've learned to live with those negatives of I don't quite know what's going on, but I've sort of, what's the word? I've molded my lifestyle around Thailand, so it does fit in. You know, I am now. I mean, I'm a Thai citizen now, so.
Oh, I think someone's backstage. Sorry.
Oh, cool. How do you know that? And I never know that.
So
Have you got the
says.
You should have.
Everyone
I will
says,
give
"Hey!"
you the buttons. No, I will give you the buttons. Thank you. That's twice you've done that now, Sean. Wow, what a bloody wingman you are, mate.
Oh no, it's
Oh.
this guy. Okay, sorry. No, you can't let him on. We gotta kick him
Pull
out.
up. Hello, mate.
G'day. How's going?
We're going okay. Thanks for coming on.
It's no magic trick, Andy. Just read the chat.
Oh, really?
No,
And
there's
I'm
more to it than
doing-
that. Hang on. Don't take away my limelight. Come on.
Oh, he's having a go at me now. I'm
No.
sorry, mate. I just don't hear the ding when somebody comes on. Somehow, Sean, how does he know there's somebody backstage? Does it come
No,
on normal?
with a lot of times, well, with Gazzas, for example, a lot of people say, "Oh, okay, Sean, you've got the buttons on Gazzas." No, I don't. I'm just looking at people right backstage, and then I happen to see that, and then I say, "Oh, Gazzas,
Well-
someone's backstage," and then he goes, "Oh,
Lump.
okay." Yeah.
Lump, I'm so sorry.
Yes, mate.
I didn't let
No,
you
you're
on
right.
immediately. I know I'm fucking all right. Now you're on. So,
No, I said I was only sitting backstage for 38 minutes.
oh, shut
No,
up.
you weren't. No, you
You were
weren't.
not. You liar.
Lump, have you spoken to Andy before?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh yeah, yeah. Andy's
Not a
Andy's
lot,
a
not
fucking
a lot.
legend in this community.
lot.
Andy,
No.
Andy's a fucking Andy's.
I'm just in the mood for talking, you know. As Gaza put me into that because every Saturday I sort of like while I'm doing my breakfast ritual. It's not that complicated, but it's a piece of toast and a coffee. But I listen in, you know, and then they suddenly talk about topics. I'm thinking, oh, I want to get into that. I want to get into that.
Yeah.
And
You know what I
finally-
miss? Sorry. You know what I miss, and I may have said this before, going back to the COVID days. Not that I want to go back to COVID, but it was when Dan, Jula, and Gaza and Aztec would stay up at the odd hours, and then you and I would come on, and we would just talk about random things going on. That I love that. I love that shit. I used to love that stuff. I really did. Yeah, it was.
I
great.
know, and you are talking about. I mean, I monitor things more than people know, only out of interest of how ludicrous everything is. It's almost on an angle of how stupid can this get? You know what I'm saying? It's not like I'm looking for information. Gaza is different. I look and the topics come up, you know, and it's all great. But I'm thinking how I look at other channels and I'm thinking how wrong is this? But there's nothing I can do about it. And who cares? They're doing their thing and I don't have to watch it. So that's fine. But I've noticed like 3 or 4 or 5 months ago, there was more sort of less ganging up on people, but now it seems to be back.
A little bit, yeah. A
Declaring
little
war
bit.
with a few people on different streams. I mean, Johnny Siam, who's a very good friend of mine, and we've helped each other. He's helped me a lot. He's helped my son's cafe as well. He's a good bloke, but he is having a real go at a couple of and was no holds barred at a few people. And then I see, you know, Capio having a real go at a few other, and I feel like there's almost an atmosphere of we want war, we want war, we want war, we want war, and so it's going back again to like it was, you know, a while ago. So it's hopeless. It's you know, we're all talking to mainly 60, 70 people if we're popular. 20 people if we're doing okay, and today I don't know how many people.
You know what it is, Andy, and Lump will back me up on this, but I really do think, like, if I talk to Gaza and if I talk to Capio on a panel, I could talk to both of those guys. It just is an example. I could talk to them about the war in
Anything.
Ukraine. Yeah, anything. Yeah, but the audience doesn't want that, and they're looking at the audience and they're going, "Okay, we got to change it up. What does the audience want?" And I told you this before. It's like you ever watch like Survivor and The Amazing Race, Big Brother, these types of shows. They're not choosing random people that put their video in that say I want to be on the show. They're choosing people that will cause problems, that will argue, and will be the most controversial. For example, if you look at this is a very good example actually. Ice Poseidon right now. A lot of people are talking about Ice Poseidon. There's someone very close to him that has more subscribers than Ice Poseidon is Sam Pepper. And
Oh,
Sam
didn't know that.
Pepper got started on UK Big Brother. That was his first.
Oh, really?
Yeah. That was his first thing. That was his first gig. Was UK Big Brother. Yeah.
Well, there's a claim to
Yeah.
fame.
Did he win it?
So, no, I think he was like the second person voted out. The first. I'm not even joking either. Yeah.
I was watching. I've only known his name for a week or so, and I hit it lucky because he came to Thailand, and he's making he was stuck in traffic, and people are trying to get in touch with him, which is cool. He's listening to him. Get a mobile taxi. Get a mobile taxi. Well, I knew exactly where he was and where you could get a motorcycle taxi, and I really felt like I'll get involved, but then I thought, wow, why should I bother?
Don't work. No.
You know what
No,
I'm saying?
he's just asking for, especially with those types of guys. Yeah. I was in Frankfurt when Ricky Drama happened to be there, and someone said, "Hey, Ricky Drama is where you are right now, Sean." And I knew when he was streaming, I knew exactly where he was, and right away I said to myself, I'm gonna go." My plan was to go and walk by the window. I knew exactly where he was.
Oh, really?
My plan was to go and walk by the window and was to moon him. That's what I was gonna do. I was gonna pull down my pants and I was gonna moon him. But I never. I didn't even leave. I didn't even leave my place. And I thought, you know what? What the hell was I thinking? You know, like there was pointless. I don't even really watch the guy. But even if not that I hold anything against him, but that was just a dumb thing for me to think of. I think at that time, it's pointless. I wouldn't have gotten any brownie points for doing something like that. Yeah, in my opinion. Yeah. I don't know.
I'm trying to change my face on YouTube because it's just me and not the panel. I don't know how to do it. I've never come across this problem. Oh, well, thanks for your help, guys.
I don't even know understand the question, let alone the answer.
You're the good
Well,
guy
if you watch
here.
on YouTube, it's just me in the bloody middle there. It's like nobody else.
Lump,
I said-
what's up? What's new, buddy? What's new?
Yeah.
What's
Over
new
to
in the
you.
world?
Oh, for me, mate, it's boring story. Same old for me. You know my story. So
Yeah, the weekend. It's the weekend. Yeah.
eh?
I know. I was just saying it's the weekend. Yeah, there's something to be happy about.
Are you working at the weekend, Lumb, or are you one of those that has to work over the weekend?
Nah, I'm everyone gets bored with this, but I care for my mum, my elderly mum.
Okay.
So,
Oh,
Didn't
yeah.
know that. Didn't know that.
Saturday may as well be Tuesday. You know what I mean? Like same old. I started dry July, and
Oh, how did
Oh
that
yeah.
go? Hang on, it's the 1st of July. It's the 1st.
He's pouring
Yes.
ice. I could hear the ice fucking going
yeah,
into
I
his
lasted
glass.
till about an hour ago. The Thai Tim was my inspiration. He lasted about 2 hours after about lunchtime. So
Well, for me, it's not. For me, it's not. It's not July 1st yet. So I still got a couple minutes.
Oh, what time is it there, Sean? What time are you?
11:50, 53.
All right.
Yeah, PM.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So, I mean, Lump, can I ask it's not a personal question. In this genre, it's a very personal question, but in
Mate,
the normal lot,
I don't give a shit.
not
You can ask me
personal.
whatever you want, mate. I'm not
Yeah,
into that.
what do you do?
At the moment, nothing. But I had my own business. I was a cobbler, a shoe repairer.
But then why
I
are
had my
you
own
here
business in
then?
Brisbane.
Sure. Sorry.
Stop it.
No, but at
Ron.
the end of what was it? 2018, into 2019, I think it was. I moved down. Mum, I lost my dad and one of my brothers like in quick succession, so Mum was on her own. So I moved down to. I was just going to help her out for a few months and set her up, sort of thing. But
Oh,
then
cool.
COVID hit. COVID hit, and I ended up being stuck in Sydney. And but Mum obviously got worse while I was here. She's actually immobile now, so I got to wheel her everywhere. And
How old is she?
turning 83 soon.
Well, still young.
Well, I'd like to
And it was
say
funny
so.
when we were at Gazzas, where everyone was talking about how certain generations we used to get smacked. I was joking around with Harv because we seem to have similar. His mum used to smack him as well. And I said to Harv, every time I'm wheeling my mum to the toilet now, I'm thinking as I walk down the hallway with her, I'm thinking of all the times she used to whack the shit out of me. And I'm helping her. I can't take her to the toilet.
So you want to give her a quick slap?
Do you have any?
Oh, yeah.
Do you have any siblings? If you don't mind me asking, you don't have to. You don't have to answer.
Three
But
brothers all passed away, mate. All passed away. We've got
oh, really?
Three? Whoa.
we've got a blood condition in our a family that we didn't know about until I got tested. Because when my last brother passed away, he was my youngest brother. The surgeon actually said, "Look, that's two brothers now with blood clots. You really need to go get tested." So I'm actually on tablets now as a preventative measure.
Like blood
thinners.
thinners, right? Yeah.
Jeez,
So
I'm
I
sorry
feel
to hear
guilty
that.
because I'm the lucky one. You know, we didn't know about the blood condition until I got tested. They never got tested. So
Talk about being given the short straw, right? It's all fate and destiny, I guess. But sometimes, I had an elder brother pass away. My parents have, but they were slightly old. My dad wasn't that old. My mum was 83 actually. But and dementia came. So really, when dementia comes in, it helps their passing because they're not quite aware of what's going on. It's and I've got
actually,
another
that's
aunt.
the tough bit. She's early stages, and that's getting hard now.
Sorry to say that. Yeah. But if there's any, what's the word? Any comfort is that I've always said, but now I get older and older, I'm not quite sure, but I think I'd rather lose it in the mind and keep physically fit. But that's a hassle on everybody around you. Because you've lost it mentally, but you're still alive, I'd hate to be stuck in a hospital bed,
I've already
That's
made up my mind long ago. I'm not going to be a hindrance to my daughter. I'm not. I won't. I'll know when I'll check out myself. Like, I don't know when, but I'm not trying to bring anything down. But that's the truth. I'll check out. I'm not going to be a hindrance to anyone.
No, you're not bringing anything down. You're not bringing anything down. No, man.
Honest to God, my life, if you like, is I can't do anything or make decisions now. Like I still got a few work years left, so I want to work. I still want to have a business again, and I'm still capable of running my own shoe repair business again. But I can't. It's like it's on hold, and I feel bad even saying it because it's like I'm waiting for Mum to pass. You know what I mean? It's like,
and you've got all this morality going along in your brain, right? Which confuses things.
an arm wrestle. An arm wrestle.
Yeah, absolutely. I really do get you. I really do get you on that. The thing with the ties, I mean, my mother was 80 when she went into a home, but she was in England. I was in Thailand. So she had insurance. So there was no financial burden on any of my last brother there. But I saw her and she had totally gone. In Thailand, that doesn't happen. There are a few old people's homes, but then the normal Thai family will look after their elderly until the end and give them the best ever. I mean, I'm doing it with my wife's parent. I mean, her dad died and her mum died. Her mum's still alive. Sorry, Kunyai. Her mum's still alive. But they're caring because I guess it's cheaper to care for them at home than it would be they have to go to a home. I know.
I think it's culture. I think it's culture, to be honest.
It's culture, absolutely, Sean.
Yeah.
But I know that, I'm 70 now, 71 or whatever I am. I'll check. Yeah, 71. But when I get to 80, but I know that I won't have to leave my home. I won't be carted off into a house full of strangers with the perfect medication and everything. But I won't. I'm there to the end because I've seen relatives here in other families and my own family. It doesn't happen.
Mhm.
They die in the bedroom upstairs. You know what I'm trying to say? The last couple of weeks they have to maybe go to hospital. I don't know, but they take care for everything.
When I was
Before
in,
my mum deteriorated, she actually said to me, "I can't go in a home. I'll never." And I said, "Mum, I promise I'll never put you in a home." But
Good
now
lad.
it's actually getting really tough.
I know.
But I spoke to the local carer's place because my girl works there, and they said I can have respite. Like I can just say I want to go on a holiday for 2 weeks. I can put her in there just for 2 weeks and stuff like that, and then go pick her up when I get back.
Well, that's like, to be honest, it's like going on a holiday and leaving your dog in a kennel, right?
Well, actually,
I'm
you're
sorry.
not too far
With
wrong
all
because you feel
respect,
bad
with all
doing it.
respect. Yeah,
You do
that's what
feel
I'm
guilty
saying.
doing it, so yeah, you're not too far wrong.
Yeah, but that's okay. And you're doing the best job, and 10 out of 10 for you for doing that, because I see a lot of the Western culture, once people get old, they don't care about them anymore. The Asian culture is the opposite.
absolutely, yeah.
And that's,
A lot of people. One of the reasons I look for
Mum. No, I mentioned looking after me, mum. That's all.
Yeah, but that's a normal thing to do. Yeah. And
yeah,
I actually have a lot of respect for you, a lot more that you said that, to be honest. It sounds stupid, but the fact that you said that you're looking after your mother, I don't know.
Just
Maybe
funny,
it's
but I just walked in the lounge room to close the front door because it's a bit chilly. And Mum said, "You talking about me out there?" And I said,
No, Mom. No, Mom. Yeah,
No, I
go to
said,
bed,
no.
Mom.
I said, I'll just tell them I'm looking after me, Mum. That's all.
I had an auntie that I loved back in the UK, and she's actually been over to Thailand as a guest in my house. Well, guest. I mean, she came over and stayed with me, and I took her up to Chiang Mai with my mother. And she was a full-on Catholic Christian, not heavy, but she was, she had the Catholic belief, and everything was fine and all that. She went back, and about 5 or 6 years later, she was found in the backyard calling everyone a fucking cunt. And she's never sworn in her life. She just went. It's just her mind just went, and she got. I say committed. That's the wrong word, but she went into a healthcare place, whatever, and she died about 2-3 years later, not knowing where she was, who she was, and that was dementia. It's like nature's taken over, saying, "Right, you're really done with this." But your body's quite okay at the moment, so we'll keep that going, but you won't really know what you're doing. So that's the deal. And that was the deal. She had no idea. And she never swore, she'd never say, "God blimey." She would never say, "Oh my God." She wasn't a zealous religious person, but she had her code of conduct, and she was total opposite. 4 years later, total opposite. She was calling everyone a fucking cunt. And I didn't know even you.
Sorry, can I just quickly catch up with the chat? Sorry, I haven't been reading the chat, but I'm now. I got it on page.
Yeah, well done, mate. Someone has
Cheers,
to.
Ty Tim. Lieutenant Nescafe.
Is that it? No, just joking.
ISO, mate. How you going? ISO.
It's a thought that counts.
Thanks for your nasty comments.
Yeah,
No,
so
sorry.
Ty Tim's a cool dude, man. He lives here. I got to meet up with Ty Tim because he lives here.
I like Ty Tim. I love Ty Tim.
Yeah, but we live in the same bloody country, same town, city, or whatever you want to call it. Ty, Tim, we need to meet up sometime, mate.
Well, do you live in do you live in Newtown, Andy?
Where?
No, I thought Ty Tim was back in Australia, back in Sydney.
I thought you lived in Thailand.
We're from the same neck of the woods in Sydney.
There's some guy on air south. I thought he lived in Rhodesia. He keeps making laughs about that.
No one knows who that guy is. Yeah, best to leave him alone.
Oh, so Ty Tim doesn't live here.
Oh,
All
good
right.
Lieutenant in the CFA. How you going, mate?
Ty Tim says that dementia is the worst of the worst. It is, unless you're the person with it. Because if you're with it, you have no idea. It's not like you're struggling when you go to bed. Go, what did I say in the garden? You fucking.
My grandmother had a minor, very very minor stroke, and she was put in the when she went to the hospital. She was there for a few days, and I would go and visit her. She was put on the dementia floor, on the dementia ward. And so when I was there was a person in the room next to her that would, and this was during COVID too. This person was, I don't know, in the wheelchair or whatever, and they didn't want the vaccine. They couldn't force it on her, and she would just scream constantly, John, fuck you, John. Fuck you, John. I'm done with you, John. Fuck you, and really, really loud, constantly. And I'd be sitting there next to my grandmother, and I'd be like, yeah. It was just an awkward thing.
Yeah, Tourette's with his dementia, did he? Or?
Yeah, it was.
But my aunt never would say bloody or hell or any. How did she even know these words? It's almost like you're being taken over by some sort of a demon. And that's what I find frightening. I don't want to get into conspiracy theories and everything else, but she changed into, the Exorcist scene, with the girl on the bed telling everyone to fuck off. No, it wasn't cold where she was, and she wasn't, had foam coming out of her mouth, but her words were identical to what a demon would say.
Come and suck my cunt.
Well, all that, name it. I tell you, obscenities were like untrue. And then my next door neighbor's mum, who was 85, was found in the garden with a stick trying to get rid of all the bloody people in there. There's loads of people in there. I've got to hit them over the head. Like, who were they? There's nobody there, obviously. So, what I'm saying is when you go to dementia, maybe you're not. Maybe you're like rekindling stuff that's happened or that is happening that other people aren't aware of.
Nobody really knows, yeah. But they say that dementia is worse than death. Like getting dementia and slowly forgetting who you are.
Like my mum was really early stages, but I watched my mother-in-law go through it as well. And she, the saddest part is her husband, my father-in-law, went before her, but not long before he went, she actually put one on his chin one night, like. The most unviolent person you'd ever want to. She was just a soft Indian lady, And one day come out with blood coming streaming down his cheek, and she just put one on him, And they'd be like, oh. So they realised that this is getting bad. But then she, like it was like a couple of days, I guess, or week or whatever. They had to. She'd say, "Oh, where's Newton?" And they'd have to. Well, not the in-laws didn't. The actual daughters did. Oh, Mum. Dad passed away, remember? And she'd have to go through it all over again. All I was doing was, I was continually putting, what was the movie? Titanic. My job was to put Titanic on because it went for it was a long movie and it kept occupied for a couple of hours. And then she watched it the next day, so she put it on again.
Oh, cool. Wow. That's called value for money on the rental.
That was my job.
No, but the problem is that I'll still stick by it, that this is awful. I don't know how we've gone down this rabbit hole, but if I was to die, I'd hate to spend a year in a hotel room withering away, or get the. Oh, somebody wants a chocolate biscuit.
So they just said, just up, will you? What's your anime?
It's
Korean drama. What's that?
Nothing but of K now and then. But yeah, so I'm just saying, as a person with it, I'd rather have dementia because you don't know what's going on. You're not suffering in a year or a year and a half, suffering from, I don't know, whatever, and you know you're going to die. But that's a selfish point of view. It's everybody else around the person that has dementia are the ones that are affected, not the person who's got it. They don't know they got dementia. Am I right? They don't
Wouldn't it
sort
be
of
great,
like,
Andy, if you could keep a little bit of sanity about you whilst having dementia, enough sanity
Yeah.
to realise you have it and what's
Yeah.
going on around you,
yeah,
then it
yeah,
would be a right laugh. That would be good.
yeah. I mean, dementia starts off with you walking into the kitchen and wondering what you've come in there for. And then you're looking for your phone and it's in the fridge, That's the start of it. And if it only stays at that level, which I've done on both those scenarios, we all do that, the kitchen thing. It's an age thing. But then it goes, what I'm interested in is, why is this like real violence and, comes into people that have got dementia? Like I told you, the woman outside next door fighting off demons in her garden, or my auntie calling everybody names that I would never ever call anybody ever, nor did she. What is there something lying in behind your brain that's suddenly let out? I don't know.
100%, Andy. I don't get that either, because this lady was a Catholic through and through, church every Sunday. Suddenly
Same.
belted her husband, started swearing, calling kids all sorts of names. And it's like, where does that come from? It's like,
So this is not an isolated case. So this happens.
no, that's normal. That's normal. My doctor, my GP, when I go there with my mum, she actually says to me, asks me the question, has she gotten any of those sort of traits? I said, no, not yet. And she went, oh, good.
So say we were in a society where those words didn't exist, right? Say there was no word as cunt, fuck, and shit, and bastard, and all. Say there was no words. What would she be cursing at then?
She might just start throwing punches.
Or use words in a different tongue that you've never heard of.
Perhaps, yeah. Talking.
See what I'm saying? I don't know. It's weird because, the brain obviously is our major part of us. And there's parts of the brain that nobody even now knows, even though they're exploring it. And I just wonder if this dementia is a thing that, unfortunately, it's not like if you take ayahuasca or you take any of the hallucinogenics, always bring you through a bad time, but then a good time, and you're feeling lovely and you're one with nature. Now, if that was dementia, how good would that be? You'd be like on a mushroom.
One big acid trip.
Yeah. Absolutely, but it's not. And you'd think acid would, if you've taken,
you'd just be listening to the Doors and the Rolling Stones, and
absolutely, not telling everyone to fuck off, you cunt. So why is the aggression? Where does the aggression come from?
No idea.
You see what I'm saying? And there's two examples: my aunt and his. That's terrible. I can't believe that. I'm going to have to Google all this shit.
I don't want to sound cruel, but she actually reminded me of, does anyone know the cat lady in The Simpsons? The mad cat lady?
Oh, yeah.
That's what she's like. You look at her and she's going, yeah. The only thing missing is the cats, but the hair's always mucked up, always looking unkempt and angry, and, you're about to fucking go nuts any minute now.
Would you think, I've just had a thought, this is so deep, I need another beer. Would you think?
Are we going to talk about Trump? Sorry.
No, I don't give a shit what he does. I care about my house and my family and how much money is coming to the house. So with this dementia thing, do you think we're going back to like is it the word primordial, going back to like our early stages of where we came from, like where there's a lot of aggression because, you want to go and get dinner, you're going to have to go and kill a fucking Tyrannosaurus Rex or something. I don't know. Or club it to death, or the next door neighbor if they're near. Is it sort of primordial? Is it like we're going back to like apes? Because apes do all that shit.
I don't think it could be that primal, Andy, because the human brain, you have to have knowledge, like certain information in your brain to even react to things like that.
So where's the input from your lady? I forget what relative she
I'm
was.
just trying to think.
You know why?
As you were saying that, I was trying to think, where would she get it from? Why
Where would she
tell her
get it
husband?
from? She never listened to media that said those words. It's almost like
It's
she's
almost the
possessed.
opposite. It's almost the
She's
opposite.
possessed.
Her behaviours when she went nuts. It wasn't like this every day, by the way, but when she did go nuts, it's almost the total opposite of her normal self.
Correct.
Because she was this one beautiful Catholic woman, go to church every Sunday.
Are you sure you're not related to my aunt? Because this is my aunt. You're describing my aunt.
No, well, this is my mother-in-law, so it's not a blood relation.
Well, church every Sunday. I know I wasn't, but church every Sunday. You know, benediction even on a Sunday, and prayers every night, morning, halfway through.
Yeah.
I mean, really, but a lovely lady. She was great. She was brilliant. She loved elephants.
If I stood still long enough, she'd start like doing the signs on my forehead and blessing me. But I never stood still long enough.
Well, where did they get these words from? Because it wasn't not in her vernacular. It wasn't there.
Yeah, you got me beat too, mate. I've got no idea. I haven't given it too much thought. You're making me think now, actually.
I'm going to Google.
Start giving it more thought.
I personally think it's something embedded in your brain that, due to civilization, morality, orientation, belonging to a faith, subdues it all. But then through chemical imbalance, it lets out what is inside your brain all the time, but wouldn't have been let out unless you became old and got dementia. Something like that. There's something in the brain that comes out because your brain controls your speech and everything.
Well, obviously, it doesn't matter how often you go to church and how nice you are, you're going to hear the swear words and see and witness violence. So there must be that input.
Yeah, somewhere. I mean, the news, just read the news, you'll see. But the swear words got me. Swear words that I won't use. Sheep, you know, Sean Sheep. Sorry, don't want to call you by your surname. Sheep. Sean. That like these
Sheep.
words. These words don't come into my vocabulary a lot. I feel awkward when I say them. But to be suddenly, you know, saying all this stuff is like weird, bro. It's weird. And now the more I'm talking about it, the more I'm going to start doing some deep diving in this. What do you think, Sean? Because you're very well, you're not level-headed, but you're sort of, I don't know, have you had anybody that you know that's had these symptoms or?
Not really, to be honest. I've just been listening.
It happens all the time. It's like a zombie. It's like a zombie invasion, man. It's like a zombie invasion. Okay, what did he say? Parent, I always listen to him.
Oh, parents.
It's not just forgetfulness, their whole personality.
Dementia Alzheimer's is not just forgetfulness, the whole personality changes. Yeah, so your personality changes to what was your personality. If you're calling everybody a cunt, a bastard, a fucker, motherfucker, I'm going to fuck your kids. This all came out of my aunt. Sounds like a fucking YouTube channel, doesn't it? But, you know, it's like, so that's another personality that's been hiding for 80 years and suddenly comes out.
South wants to know, are you on the mushrooms, Andy?
I wish I was, mate.
Me too. I love a mushroom.
No, but seriously, it's something that has happened to Lump and me. Sean, maybe you haven't experienced it, but I guess you can Google it. It's a wide
Hopefully
thing.
not.
Well, these people do it. How come I don't know Lump? We live thousands of miles away, and he had exactly the same experience as me. For me, that's enough that like thousands of people are doing it. Hundreds of thousands of people have it. I guarantee you, hundreds of thousands of people have people that do that when they get old and with dementia. Is it an outlet for Satan? Da 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 da.
I'm an atheist, so that doesn't sort of.
But you believe in evil and good. As an atheist, you believe in evil and good, right?
As an atheist, I believe some people are evil and some people are good, but not no devil, Jesus.
Steve Perrin, if you come on, I'll stay on for as long as you want because it's been a while. No offense
Sure.
to Andy, but it's been great.
Yeah, Shy Tits says, Shy Ting says statistics. That's what you got to actually go for. You got to Google statistics.
Yeah,
And
I will do
that
that
will have
after
all
this
the
stream is
information.
over. After this stream is over, I'll do a follow-up stream tomorrow with more
Okay.
stats. Yeah.
Mm, yeah.
Sean's
Actually,
now
I'm going to
bored.
get more into it too, Andy, because, like I said, my mum's very early into it, so I need to really know what I'm in for, what's going to happen.
Well, it's not looking good. I tell you that now, mate. Sorry, it's not going to be up. It's going to be downhill from now, isn't it? I mean, it's not going to get.
What I'm
better.
not sure is time frames. With my mother-in-law, I really, of course, she didn't live with us. I wasn't really the time frame. Sort of, it was a few years back now, so I can't really remember the time frame, how bad she got quick. If you know what I mean.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
remember laughing when we had to go find her because she'd walk away from the church instead of waiting for us to pick her up. And we'd have to drive around the suburb looking for her. That was like a laugh almost. But then I remember towards the end when she started belting her husband, and he was nearly dead already. He was on his last legs, and she just went whack, like put one right on him, knocked him down. And yeah, so I need the time. I'm more interested in the time frame, what I'm in for.
Well, yeah, and who knows how long a piece of string is?
Yeah, I don't know if it's I don't know if actually going back to the statistics thing. That's what I'd like to know. Is there an average, like an idea, or are they all different?
Google it.
Yeah, I should.
Yeah, no. So Sean's really bored now, and I really like Sean. So Sean, think of a topic. I've invited anybody who wants to join it. We've got quite a few people watching. So
Sorry, Sean, that's old people's talk.
I don't know what happened to Harv.
Don't apologize.
Harv got bored, so he left. It's probably his internet connection.
Harv left about 3 hours ago. Short attention span.
Well, I can close the stream. I don't
No. What the hell? No.
No, I can. I can't keep talking forever. But this is a very interesting subject. It's very morbid, but it's very interesting how these people's
my
minds.
fault.
No, it's not.
Down.
No. I carried on with it because I find it now very interesting how people's minds can turn. But it's all. I think it's all the mental. So it's not. Hang on. Steve Perrin says, "Appreciate the vote of confidence, Sean, but we have Saturday cartoons on TV, so I can only look in the chat." Stop blaming your relatives, Steve. Get on here, you pussy.
I tend to agree, Tim. I tend to agree, mate. I think it's an individual thing. I don't think there's a roadmap, a timeline roadmap.
Well, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Oh, we are on Snap. I thought I was on Gazzas.
For a laugh.
Oh, this is like Gazzas. Fucking hell. I'm on the wrong channel again. Fucking hell.
Oh, shit. No, you're not. If you feel comfortable.
We're only here for shits and giggles, everybody.
Now, Ty Tim's cool. There's no way of knowing, but there must be.
He follows Canterbury, the Bulldogs.
Hmm?
He follows Canterbury in the Sydney League comp. Before you go give him a 10 out of 10.
I have no idea what you're talking about, love. Can you?
I know. I'm only joking. He knows what I mean, but.
Oh, okay. Sorry. You're talking Bogan language, right?
Yeah.
I didn't. Is Bogan a bad word to call an Australian? Because I have absolutely no idea.
It is normally, but in this.
I heard dog is the worst. It's bad to say dog.
Yeah, don't call an Aussie a dog. Yeah.
Oh, really? Okay, thanks for the note. Bogan, how's that come out? I don't know.
I'm not a big fan of Bogan, but it seems to be like embraced in this genre with the Aussies, so I just go along with it. But Bogan's actually the Bogan in my how I look at a Bogan in my where I am is the guy with no teeth down a shopping centre looking for his next ice hit.
Oh, really?
That's
So
Where
they're
I'm
like
from,
red-
Bogan,
they're
we,
like
we never
rednecks,
used to call them Bogans. We call them Westies.
Are they
Where
like
I'm
rednecks or something?
Not as bad, but yeah. But from where I'm from, I never heard the term Bogan until I moved to Queensland. Bogan, where I'm from, the Bogans were called Westies.
Okay, carry on.
Meaning
I thought
from the
you were
western
giving more.
suburbs, meaning from the poor suburbs out west, not near the
So-
city or not near the beaches.
Live in trailers and shacks and drive pickups and
Well, we don't. Yeah, well, we don't do the trailer and pickup thing, but the housing emission areas and stuff,
right.
public housing and yeah, they've got shitty tattoos. Usually got a mullet. Well, the mullets are in fashion. And usually hanging out for the next bit of ice or,
When you say ice, what do you mean? Drugs?
drugs, yaba,
Right.
or
Yeah,
shabu,
okay.
is a Philippines term, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, see, Tim's agreeing. Westies is normal. That's what we call bogans. In Brisbane, I thought they only called Westies bogans because of Logan, which is a bogan area. Bogan
Yeah.
from Logan. That's why I thought they started calling them bogans. But
All right.
apparently it's more
Oh.
widespread than that.
And where are you from, Australia? Where are you? Where's your?
I'm in Sydney.
Right. I've never been to Australia. It's not quite on my top 5 of my bucket list. But I've got so many friends live, in Australia. But I don't know. I want to go and see Adrian.
Then Avery too.
Banana King.
Yeah, absolutely. Banana King's my
Well, actually,
soulmate.
climate-wise, you probably enjoy it.
Yeah, since he's moved,
Yeah, North Queensland, yeah.
he's got a bedroom ready, so he's fine. My mates
got
and I have taken to calling people soy dogs. See, Ty Tim sounds like he lives friggin' here. Soy dogs. Everyone knows. Sean, soy dogs. And soy is the name for a road in Thailand. All the little roads that come off a main road are soys, and you get stray dogs everywhere, and they're called soy dogs.
Oh, is that what they say, like soy 6, soy 7, and that? Because I've never been to Thailand.
Well, you wouldn't get any down there. You just get brothels, but in my soy, I have about 8 or 9 dogs, but they're fine. They learn to live with people, so it's fine.
But Andy,
Sean,
you might have missed Tim's earlier message when you were saying you live in the same town and stuff. He actually messaged that the last time you two spoke, he was living in Thailand.
Okay, that's made me
But
feel
he's back
more
in Australia now.
more sane. Yeah, I had a feeling he was okay. Okay, thank you for filling in the gaps there, Lump. It's fine. Who's Shai Ting? Very active in the chat.
Well, I thought I knew who it was, but now I'm not so sure.
I wish people would come up with their real names, to be honest. My name's Andy, not Lump.
My name's Jeff. Not that it matters. That's just.
I'll write that down now. Every time I talk to Lump, his name is Jeff. I've written that down now. Okay, guys, I'm going to call it if nobody else comes on.
That's a reflection on you and me, Sean.
Well, no, I'll let it go. I'll carry on. But
I could do some nitty gritty, but I can't be bothered.
You want the nitty gritty, don't you? Really?
No, not really. No, I enjoyed it. I was listening.
I thought the talk about dementia was really depressing, but it was interesting, right? So I know it's a bit of a downer on things.
I apologise for going on about that, but I did get asked a question. But I do apologise for going on from that.
Andy, I love talking to you on the panel. Always, it's a pleasure. It's a pleasure, man. Always.
I don't want to drag out anything that's lost its longevity, so I can call the stream And
Well,
I'll
Andy
do what,
Ting is saying the real account is banned.
oh fuck me, don't start with this. I don't even know how to find a ban list. I'm a Gupta here, but I have no idea how to do it. I have
Put some
no
coffee
idea.
in me. That's a good time to put
South,
some
we're
coffee.
not besties. We're from the inner city. Same as you, mate. We're from the inner city.
We've got 12 people watching, but obviously nobody wants to come on, so I don't know.
Cool.
Gaza didn't come back on. So.
Are you sausage dog, Shy Ting?
Sausage Dog's a good
Wow.
mate of mine.
He
Where's
used to
Why
come
would you be
on.
banned
He
here?
doesn't come
Why
on
would you be
anymore.
banned
He's
here?
a piece of shit.
But
Is
why
he
would he be
really?
banned here?
He's not banned
He's
here.
right.
How can I find the ban list on here? Okay, talk amongst yourselves while I do a little bit of.
He's not banned. No, sausage dog. I know 100%. He's not banned. Can't be banned. There's no way.
No, actually, now that he mentions it, I remember in Gazzas, Sausage Dog said something about being banned there, and I thought,
Okay, I've got the ban list. I've got the ban list. Do you want me to go through it? Because it's all old accounts. I have no idea who they are.
No, yeah, we'll be here for 3
All right,
hours.
South.
Fucking hell, if you go through it.
No, it's not that long a list. Phuket Sandbox, Pissed Skunt, Walkabout Thailand, Human Zoo, Bobby Israel, E.G., Robert Wilkins, Donatelli Underwood, John Steinberg, The Real Mr. Nobody. I remember that name.
Yeah.
Fool's Land, Barry Jones, Refried Bean. That's got to be Jesse. Kingavo Clowns, forget that. Kingavo Clowns again. Hello, how are you? Be Natural, No Name, Michael K, Vincent Tuff, and Wild Bill. Those are the only ones on the ban list.
Fucking hell, I wasn't even in there with any of my alt accounts. What the fuck?
So there you go.
many
That's the
people-
ban list. So there's the ban list.
But Andy,
so let it be said now.
Is there more than one ban list, like a Banana King or John Siam? got
No,
their own
no,
ban list,
no,
or is there
no,
one
no.
ban list?
No, I have
Oh, okay.
full.
All right.
I've just found it. Well, I think so, Lump. I mean, I can't say for sure, but I'm sure there is. That when Adrian did this, he let everybody onto the YouTube thing as well with full admin, whatever they want, all the powers. So I've just found this. Guests can stream to their own destinations. Guests see viewer comments. Yeah, no, it's all there. That's the guests, and that's the ban list, which is totally irrelevant, right? So no one's banned. No one's banned. So there we go.
Yeah, fucking brilliant, I guess.
Try
Yeah.
Sausage Dog. Say hello under your Sausage Dog name. We'll see if we can see.
Where's
it.
Sausage?
Well, she's not banned. Yeah, sausage.
No, you're not banned, Sausage Dog, because you're writing in the bloody chat. So how can you be banned? I can't see him.
But Angela's Flangery saying Az's banned as well, blocked as well.
Well, that's Aztec. That I know. But he's not banned. Aztec was just on. Banana King says, careful, sheeting. Laugh out loud. Oh, I get it now. Sheeting. Sitting. Okay. Took me a while.
Az is blocked. Jesus. We know you're fucking.
Yeah, you're not on here. So you're not blocked because you just came on. So how can you be blocked?
He's saying his StreamYard has a different block list than YouTube.
I'm on StreamYards. I'm not on YouTube. I'm on Stream. Oh,
Maybe he's
hang
blocked
on.
on YouTube.
Let me check. No, I'm checking. Oh, I don't know how to do the YouTube one. I don't know. Maybe that's an Adrian thing. I don't know. Whatever. Okay, I'm coming to the end of my energy. If anybody wants to stay on, I'll keep the stream open. No worries.
Unless Adrian...
Nobody controversial wants to come on, so
Yeah, no, unless Adrian comes on or something like that.
Well,
I'm
no,
not
King. Hopefully, he's
Unless someone
he's
comes
had a
on with the buttons.
belly
I'll-
full
I'll
of beer.
see
Come
him.
on, Adrian.
Good work, Andy. Well, I'm now struggling, but I will keep it on and I'll keep the stream open. But trouble is, if no one's watching it, no one can let anybody on. So
Yeah, there's not too many people watching, anyways. Yeah. Anyways, South's not South's, Lump and Andy. Cheers.
it's been
All
a
the
pleasure,
best to
Say
you
Sean.
that,
guys.
Sean.
And Lump.
Funny you say that,
Yeah.
Sean. Just a tiny little bit of nitty gritty before we go.
Mhm.
Here we go.
I seem to be getting. I love South. Don't get me wrong. He's to me, he's good. But I've noticed in other channels, people aren't saying hello to me, and a certain person, your new mate, made reference that I'm hanging off South's coattails, and he said I said shit that I didn't say, that I'm repeating lies and stuff like that. So
Is that
can you
true?
fix that for me, mate, before next week? No, I don't. I wouldn't. I don't even know what lies he's fucking.
You're not
thinks I'm
hanging off of
repeating.
his coattails? All right. If you're not hanging off his
No,
coattails,
he's
that's fine.
mate. You're not hanging off people's coattails just because you consider them a mate. I like South, and you know, like I'll back him to the hilt, but I'm not
Well, be careful who
repeating
you
any
bag.
lies that he supposedly
Careful who you
said.
bag.
I'm not. I don't back it, mate. I don't give a shit what any of you guys say on the supposed sides. I'm here. I come up for a chat and a laugh
Mhm.
wherever I
Mhm.
go.
Exactly.
And that's it.
Well done,
Full
Lump.
stop.
Same me.
Full stop.
Well, I've always conducted my life on these channels like that because I don't have any enemies, not really.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough.
Not into the
Anyways,
shit that goes
Andy,
on behind the scenes.
Yes, Sean.
it was a pleasure talking to you, sir. It really
And,
was. It was awesome. And you too, Lump. Yeah, it was
it's great
fucking
chatting. Yeah.
All right, Sean. Hooroo, mate. Thanks, Andy, for having me up, mate.
yeah.
Okay, no worries, mate. Anytime. And Sean, anytime as well. You know, we had
Thank
the
you.
Gazzas chat as well, which was great as well. So
Yeah.
it's all good. And thanks
Yeah,
for coming
thank you.
on and keeping me company, guys. Appreciate
No,
it.
no, no. Thank
See you,
you.
man,
Thank you.
South. Rock
I
on.
appreciate it. I
See
enjoyed
you
it. Thank
soon.
you. All the
Everyone else
best
in
to
chat.
you.
Hooroo.
Okay, I'll close the stream then. Okay. Here we're going. Okay. See you, Lump. And it's me. Thank you for being in the chat. Chat is king. Thanks for all the the comments and stuff. And until the next time.